Welcome to Scatter Travel TV as we continue our trip in Skagway. This is part number 2 of the episodes on the cruise port of Skagway. We've been on a cruise of Alaska. We're now continuing the end of the part of Skagway so that you can get all of Skagway. We did it in 2 parts. It's a wonderful place to go. You're going to love it. I hope you enjoy the ending of Skagway. Now to conclude our stop in Skagway, let's look at a couple of the famous places and sites that you should see while you're there. One of them is the Onion Saloon. It's one of the old-time historical buildings there. It was a famous saloon and brothel. Today, if you step inside and look, they even have one of the finest displays of bedpans I've ever seen. Don't know why they're there, but they're cool. You can take a tour through it and even see some of the rooms of the brothel. Kind of a fun place with a lot of history. Let's look at some of the other fun places that are good to see. I especially loved the play that we went to. The play about Soapy Smith and his role in Skagway.
Oh, we're being recorded? This is like a video?
Yeah. I'm Debbie Gerber. I'm here in the Eagle Theater on a street in Skagway. This is on Broadway. Sorry. This is a great show for you to come and see. You need to come and see this. This is a great little show. It's in Skagway. You'll have plenty of time if you're on a cruise ship to come and take a look at it. Come and see these guys. Great actors and actresses. Come see the story of Soapy. This is one of the most photographed buildings in Skagway, all made of driftwood. It's got hundreds of little pieces of driftwood nailed to the building. It's also a visitor center that you can go in and visit. It is the most photographed building in Skagway. Or so I've heard. There is the White Pass Yukon Route Railroad Station. It has a museum and it has bathrooms. Now, bathrooms is something you always look for when you're on a trip, and they are there, and it's a good place, good central place before you start your shopping, or if you need to find one, go there. It's a fun place to go, plus you can check out train tickets to go up through the pass.
This is an old This is an old train which has a front on a snow removing device that when it goes over the pass here in Skagway over to Canada, it snows up to 40 feet a year here, and this is a device they use that spins really hard and really fast, and it just takes the snow and throws it off the track so the rest of the train can make it through. And here's the rest of the train down here.
They have a fun little area. It's kind of like a little museum. There's some couple of train things that you can climb on. There is, of course, the snow removal engine that you saw that Galen told you about. And then there was this little fun car that you get on and you pump it up and down. And it's just, you know, it's just for fun. It's a fun place for pictures. There's some benches there that you can sit and relax. They're just kind of like a little square. So it's a good place to stop and rest, have a little bit of fun, especially if you've got kids. That'd be a good place for them to get a chance to play on the trains. We went shopping right in this area. It's just as we're leaving, just as we're getting ready to walk back. There are some other lovely places to sit and have, you know, your drink, some snacks. There's a popcorn place here. Lovely place to sit. So there are places to sit and relax and eat. And of course, we found what? Ice cream, our favorite thing. Doesn't matter where we go in the world, we always seem to be able to find ice cream. It's a Gerber tradition after all. So you have to have an ice cream wherever you are. So if you've got a favorite snack, I'm sure you seek that out too. Although the chocolate shop was on my list as well. We've talked before that you can either get tours on the ship. You can get them ahead of time, you can get them when you're on the ship, but you can make arrangements to go on these tours directly off the ship. Or there are places, especially in the towns, that do sell tours. So they had a lot of different things for options. They had sled dog racing. They had going on the railway up the pass. They had the one that we went on, the bus that goes up the pass. There are a bunch of different ones, and they are offered here in town, just on the boardwalk. You can find them. There was a couple of places that we shopped for and found out that the prices were pretty good, pretty similar to the ship. But if you got there and you had extra time and also you said, hey, I want to go on this, if it's open, you'd be able to go. Or maybe if you call ahead, you'll be able to make arrangements to do things that weren't necessarily on the ship roster. If you look around, it is a beautiful place. You look from one end to the other, and there's snow-capped mountains, even in the middle of summer. This is July. And there's wildflowers, beautiful wildflowers. Although we ran into some that they said were poisonous. We didn't eat them. But it was fun just to see the flowers and the different things that there were there. There was something that I thought was just kind of cool. You see backpackers all over, and they're walking with these huge backpacks. I'm not a backpacker. I don't quite understand the whole let's carry a lot of weight and go for hikes, except that I do know that going into nature is it is a special kind of experience that you don't get any other way. But the backpackers that we saw reminded me of the people that came to Alaska. They came with adventure. They had to carry things with them. They didn't have like cars when they got there. And so they would carry things, and they had the backpacks. And on one of the shops, it was just as cute as could be. Here were these backpacks with the wildflowers planted in them growing out of the backpack. And I thought, what a good example of what Alaska is. Hardy, you know, and beautiful at the same time. And the people that live there have to be the same. Something you don't think about too often is the amount of people that live in Skagway year-round. Year-round, it's under 1,000 people that would be residents of the area. Now, come summer, they expect something like 800,000 in that range of visitors. So people come there for summer employment as well. We met a lot of people there that were there working, and they just come for the season. So if you've ever wanted to go to Alaska and have a job and have some adventures, that might be an option for you. There's people that have to run stores and restaurants. There's tour guides. There's people who work in the manufacturing and in the fishing industry. So there's all kinds of jobs that are available during the summer. And then there's there's lots of tourists. Some come by ship, some come other ways, but mostly by ship. And so there's a lot of people that come to Skagway, but they don't necessarily live there year-round. One of the fun things that Galen did was he went and had his picture taken with Sarah Palin. Who does that? Well, she had a fish in her hand. Don't you want to go fishing? So anyway, it was a cardboard cutout thing that was in front of one of the stores, and so we stopped and had a picture there. It's always fun to stop and have pictures. There's places you can have pictures with a bear. There's places with Sarah Palin. There's all kinds of famous statues and totem poles and things that you can go stand next to and have your picture taken. And it's good because it reminds you of where you were and the memories that you have of that place. Just off the dock or the pier at Skagway, along the rocks here, you're going to see what appears to be graffiti. On the contrary, it's not graffiti. This is a long-standing tradition that the first time that a boat sails or ship sails into this port and docks, they get to put their logo or the name of their ship up on the rocks somewhere. So they hire someone to come in and do that artwork for them, and then their history of coming to the port of Skagway is forever up on these rocks. They say it's a good way to tell the history and time periods because you can read when the different ships first came to Skagway by going along this rock wall and seeing what ships have painted their sign or logo on it. Put up
the Rotterdam. There's a bunch of different ones here, and the little ones you'll see are the smaller ships that come in, or the probably yachts and things they can put theirs on. Whoever wants to, as long as they bring their ship in. There's a Zandam over there. There's a bunch of them. Royal Caribbean. Kind of to get an idea of how many ships have actually done this. It's a big thing.
Then it was back to the cruise ship. Here we are, ready to get on the cruise ship. Got to make sure that you have your little cards so you don't lose them, because you need them to get back on the ship. We like to take our picture by the ship and remember which ships we were on. Here we are ready to get on the ship. We're ready to go to our next port. We loved our rooms. We had window view rooms. A balcony would have been lovely. I think that if you do an Alaskan cruise, a balcony is worth it because you can see the land as you go along all the time. And so here you can see the land and sit out and watch the nature. We would just go up on top, but it was fun to be able to have the window and be able to look out and say, oh, look, here's where we're at, and decide whether or not we wanted to run up top to take pictures or see more of it. So here we are on our way to our next cruise port in Alaska. Thanks for joining us at Scatter Travel TV. I'm Debbie Gerber, your host, bringing you what I hope are shows where you can enjoy some of the world with me. Also, that you can help prepare you for when you travel or when you go to see these places, so that you can see what it is you want to do before you travel, so you can make excellent plans. Come to our website at www.scattertravel.tv. We have some awesome deals for you on travel. You can book your travel there. There's some coupons and discount codes there for you to use. I hope you enjoy your travels. Keep joining us for more travel destinations.